What's up, everybody? How are you all doing today? What we're going to be doing in today's video is we're going to be ranking everybody's season, right? The NBA season just wrapped up. Milwaukee won 4 straight after Phoenix was up 2-0. I was guilty of saying that it was over. Phoenix was winning that in 6, maybe 5 if they're lucky. Nope, Milwaukee, Giannis, crazy game. Give Giannis the respect he needs, man. Oh my god, Giannis is lethal. Today, we're going to be ranking the teams, so let's get started, man. First things first, with the Atlanta Hawks, right? So S tier would be like exceeded expectations, right? S tier. Atlanta, man. Before the hiring of their new coach, who was it? Nick McMillan? They were not good. I thought that they were really under. They were playing under what we expected them. They're under exceeding expectations, right? They hired Nate McMillan. They started winning. Their role players started playing well. Kevin Huerter went with that injury, man. And then in the playoffs, man, making it to the conference finals. Shout out to the Hawks, bro. And so many players have developed. Now, maybe you want to give John Collins that max. Where at the start of the season, you were looking to trade him. Amazing season for Atlanta. Boston. Now, in the playoffs, winning one game against the Brooklyn Nets. Shout out to you. I'd give that an A tier. But to be honest, B tier. From last season where they made a conference finals appearance, they were floating around the playoffs, the play-in tournament in the playoffs, and it was disappointing. I never expected them to be the 7th lead. And sure, they had lots of injuries, right? And COVID. I'd put them even lower. But of course, COVID, injuries, they've really tanked their season, right? So that's why I'm putting him in the B tier. They still did make the playoffs. Jason Tatum is a superstar, man. He is such a good player. Playing tournament, I think he dropped like 60. Against the Nets, he dropped 50. If Jaylen Brown was here, I think that they could have made a bigger run against the Nets. Who knows, though. Brooklyn. This is tough. I'm putting them in the B tier. I'm going to, of course, finalize this list. Now, they had a good season. They barely played together. There was like 8-9 games where they all played together, and in the playoffs they got injured, man. They would have beat Milwaukee. I'm sorry, Milwaukee Bucks fan. I was praising you at the start. They would have beat Milwaukee if they were all healthy, if the big three was healthy, and I really think that they could have done well. Unfortunately, they didn't. They didn't show up. They didn't prove. They didn't prove me wrong, and I wish Harden played well. Man, he was injured, and I understand that. I just wish that we could have seen them healthy, man. I hate injuries so much. They've ruined this playoffs. Even though it was a good playoffs, don't get me wrong. But it would have been cooler if everybody was healthy, which of course will never happen. Chicago. So, I'm putting them in the C tier. They, at the start of the season, were cool. Then they made a trade for Nikola Vucevic, who was an all-star this season. Was literally the only reason the Magic were relevant. And they still could not catch a break. Zach LaVine eventually went down with the injury. They didn't even make it into the play-in tournament. Man, it was bad, bro. They were expected to at least make the playoffs. They didn't. They weren't really bad, like bottom 15, 14 seed, but still were way worse than expected after making a trade for your second All-Star. The Clippers, S tier. Now you might be like, didn't they tank to face the Mavericks? Right, and this might be recency bias, and you can hate me for that. So I might move them down to A tier. I'm gonna move them down to A tier. But they lost Kawhi Leonard, right? And they went crazy against Utah, down 0-2. Everybody knows the 0-2 memes. Down 0-2. They came back against the Jazz. They were almost about to do the same to the Suns, man. That one dunk from DeAndre Ayton would have made it a 2-2 series. The Clippers could have won that. If Kawhi was healthy, they have a high chance of winning the championship this season. Again, injuries. I hate them. Charlotte. B and C tier, right? I'm going to do low B tier for them. Because when LaMelo Ball was on the court, first of all, they got LaMelo. W for them. Gordon Hayward looked like it was a mistake. But when Gordon Hayward, LaMelo Ball were healthy and on the court, they were amazing. Okay. I'm going to chill on that. They were a playoff team. Right? Unfortunately, they just could not do it in the play-in tournament. The experience of the Pacers outperformed the Hornets. But I'm super excited for next year, man. Hopefully Gordon Hayward could stay healthy for one season, man. And LaMelo Ball, hopefully he improves. Of course he will. But hopefully he can stay healthy as well. And maybe they can make the playoffs for the first time in a few years. Cleveland. I mean, did they have many expectations? No. I'm putting them in the C tier because they had one player, Colin Sexton, who went absolutely crazy. We all remember that Brooklyn game where he scored like 20 straight points, I think. Colin Sexton is amazing, man. Darius Garland finally had a good season. This is why people don't give up on players, right? After their free season. Darius Garland was not good in his rookie season. He was like one of the worst defenders in the NBA. He improved a lot, and they made the trade for Jared Allen. Their future's looking bright. So we'll see what happens with them. Denver. I'm gonna go B tier. Right? They made the playoffs. They made a good trade for Aaron Gordon. And then in the playoffs, man, Michael Porter Jr. was amazing. The playoffs came around. Oh man, first round they were looking good against Portland, right? Second round though, Phoenix exposed them, bro. You have the MVP on your team and you can't sneak out one game. It's unfortunate. In that fourth game, he got ejected, and that's debatable. I'm not here to debate if he should have gotten ejected or not. Unfortunately, people like Michael Porter Jr. and Aaron Gordon could not step up to even squeeze out a win for them. They had a good season though, getting the MVP in the league. Houston, D tier. Okay, chill. Okay, chill. Listen, they were expected to have a good season. At the start, when they had John Wall, I seriously thought that this team could go all the way. This is on paper, at least. Okay, John Wall, James Harden, the three could be whoever. Christian Wood and Boogie. Boogie was horrible for them. John Wall has not been good for them either. So maybe they wouldn't have gone all the way. But I'm rating them a D tier because they lost like 16 games in a row. Okay, and also their front office trading away Karis LeVert for a 3-month rental, literally a rental for Victor Oladipo, to get Avery Bradley and who was it? Kelly Olynyk for Victor Oladipo. When you could have had Karis LeVert, you fumbled the bag. At least you got picks. Front office, man. I feel bad for Rockets fans. Lakers. B tier. Again, they were made the playoffs, right? And they were a high seed. Despite actually no, they weren't a high seed. What am I saying? They were in the play-in tournament. LeBron and AD were injured. They would have been a top seed if they were here. They would have probably made it to the championship if they were healthy, and probably won it. To be honest with you, they'll be better next season though. It wasn't a fail. The only reason it was a fail was because of injuries. Milwaukee, S tier. You won the championship. Like, how could your season be a fail? You gave up 3 picks for Drew Holiday. I question that. I can't lie. I'm like, isn't that a bit of an overpay? Nope. You made the trade for PJ Tucker, and I'm like, you gave up Torrey Craig for that? Nope. Smart as hell. I actually don't know if they gave up Torrey Craig for PJ Tucker, but still, PJ Tucker very impactful defensively. Offensively, if he hits you 2 corner threes, that is amazing. You need to be jumping for joy. Miami. I don't want to put playoff teams in the C tier. I really don't, man. Miami. They were plagued by injuries again. This is why I'm putting them in the B tier. But in the playoffs, man. Oh my God, Jimmy Butler was horrendous. Bam Adebayo is missing. He was nowhere to be found. The person who is known to be clamping up Giannis, I mean, he did an okay job, right? He's still a good defender. I'm not saying he's a bad defender at all. They just did not play well. Tyler Hero, who was so overhyped because of his playoffs, just went and hid. All right, the whole team was not good. The Bucks were amazing. They're B tier because they were plagued with injuries, and they still managed to be like the 6th seed, right? The 6th seed, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Dallas. Oh man, everybody's being filled up in my B tier right now. I don't know what to do. Oh man, I'm gonna put them in the B tier. They had a great season. They were looking really bad. Luka, being one of the best players in the NBA, turned them around. They were up 2 on the Clippers. They choked. Get Luka help, please. I don't want to say get him out of here. I'm all about having the person that got drafted by the team stay with the team. Luka, stay with them, okay? All right, you can stay. You can chill. But please get out of the first round. I'm not blaming this on Luka. He needs help. The Pelicans. It's between these two. Being like, what were they, the 11th seed? I think they were the 11th seed. They weren't even in the play-in. Is disappointing for somebody when you have two all-stars in Brandon Ingram and Zion, as long as Lonzo Ball. I don't know how you get. I don't know how you get this bad of a season. I feel bad for Pelicans fans. Whoever signed Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe, or whoever even wanted to trade for them. Actually, Eric Bledsoe trade, you got pissed. But Steven Adams and extending him was the worst mistake you could make. You don't even know your player. Three head coaches, their front office is a mess. Hopefully Zion does not request a trade. I hope he stays. Knicks, amazing season, right? Playoffs, that's why you're not in this year. Playoffs, Atlanta smoked you guys. They smoked you. But your regular season was amazing for Knicks fans, and I think you should be happy with even a playoff win or a playoff spot. You don't understand how excited people were in the Madison Square Garden. So shout out to Knicks. Maybe you guys can build on it. RJ was cool. I really thought RJ was not going to be too good after his rookie season. He improved a lot. You guys should be looking pretty cool. You'll get more Obi minutes and more Emmanuel Quickley minutes. So I'm excited. Oklahoma. C tier. They were not supposed to be good. The only reason they're in C tier is because of one person, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who is the only reason that they were winning games. Without him, they're just not a good team. He's amazing. And if you guys watch my other video, I wish the Raptors made that trade. I wish that was a trade. I love Shai so much. Orlando. I'm putting them in the C tier for one reason, and lots of people were saying maybe they could get back more for what they gave out during the trade deadline, and maybe they could have done that as well. But at the second half of the season, we didn't get to see much of their young players. Man, Markelle was injured. Please stay healthy for one season, I beg. They were a cool team. Again, these teams over here, these three did not have any, they did not have any expectations, right? The Portland Trailblazers. I'm gonna have to keep dropping everybody in the B tier. They were cool. Traded for Norman Powell. As a Raptors fan, I'm happy for Norman Powell to be able to spread his wings, show what he's about. But for Portland, you need size. You saw how bad defensively you were, and you went and traded for somebody who, I'm not saying Norman Powell is a bad defender, but when you're putting him at the small forward position, right? With CJ and Dame, you're going to get abused defensively, and you might not even bring him back. And as a Raptors fan, we got Gary Trent, so thank you. Indiana, C tier. Why would Indiana be C tier, you may ask? Well, it is because injuries, right? And they didn't make the playoffs. They have, again, I'm just so confused, man. Other than injuries, they have a really talented roster. They have, at the point guard, Malcolm Brogdon. Shooting guard, Jeremy Lamb. Oh, yeah, Jeremy Lamb. Small forward, TJ Warren, bucket getter. Power forward, all-star DeMontis. Center, you have a defensive lockdown. He's going to protect that paint and shoot. I don't understand why this team is not good. Other than injuries, this team, man, could be really good. I really hope that they get a good season one of these years. Detroit, they were bad. They weren't meant to be bad. I mean, they weren't meant to be good. They were just bad. And they were really bad, right? So I'm just going to put them at D tier. They're getting Cade, though. Pistons fans, be excited, bro. Sacramento, you're also going here. Do you want to know why, Sacramento? You want to know why? You guys have missed the playoffs for forever, and Marvin Bagley is trash. He's been injured though, so maybe he might pull out something. Rashawn Holmes, great center, but now he's gonna be a free agent, so you might need to pay him. He averaged like 14 and 8. Good rim protecting, rim running center. De'Aaron Fox is an all-star. If he was in a better team, he would be an all-star. Hopefully he can lead this team like Devin Booker. Hopefully they make a move. Maybe Tyrese Halliburton will be their answer. Next season they'll make the playoffs. Again, they just keep performing. I don't know how they regressed from the 2018-2019 season where they were the 9th seed, right? Really close to the playoffs. They've regressed every year. I don't know what's up with Sacramento, man. Hopefully they'll be play-in tournament contenders next season. Phoenix, S tier. Made the finals from being not even in the playoff contention last season. You went crazy in the bubble. I understand that. Mikal Bridges got to spread his wings. And then you got Chris Paul, who came and he changed everything. He made DeAndre Ayton a much better player. And lots of people were saying that DeAndre Ayton is an elite player, right? We were saying he had such a good run, and then the finals came and he got dominated by Giannis. Other than that, DeAndre Ayton had a great playoffs. Same thing with Mikal Bridges. He had one good game in the finals, then left for the rest of the game, for the rest of the finals. Devin Booker, superstar. I don't know what you're going to do next season. You're bringing back Chris Paul or not. I think you should. But will you be able to make it to the finals? Same thing with Atlanta. I'm not sure. But based on this season, you guys played amazing. Way over expectations. San Antonio. C tier. You guys made the play-in tournament. Shout out to you. You have one DeMar DeRozan guy doing everything. You have DeJounte Murray. I love DeJounte Murray, man. I love him so much. Good defensive guard. Derek White. I think he was injured. I'm not too sure what's going on with Spurs. I don't watch many Spurs games. I can't lie. But DeMar, you guys made it to the play-in tournament. You still got your young guards. Devin Vassell as well. He really did not have a good season. But you have young pieces. Trade DeMar. Maybe if you get a first, another young piece, you'll be good. You need to go into rebuild if you're San Antonio. 76ers. They had an A tier. Now I understand in the playoffs they got messed up by Atlanta. But to be the first seed in the East, when your big man was out with an injury for like 20, 30 games, and to maintain that spot with Ben Simmons, everybody played well. You finally got a little bit of worth out of Tobias Harris's contract. Does not mean it's a good one. Same thing with Chris Paul. It's not a good contract, but he's a good play. He's a good player, right? Playoffs, we all know that story. The Raptors, D tier. Welcome to the D tier. I'm a Raptors fan. So this is how you know there's no bias here, okay? The Raptors made a second round appearance, Game 7, were one good Pascal Siakam game away from making it to the conference finals. And I think that they could have had a better chance than Boston did. Potentially fought against the Lakers. Now my bias might be kicking in. But to go from that to come down and play horrific. Pascal Siakam started the season with the same momentum that he had last season. Just completely horrible. He was bad, but he improved throughout the season, and his value dropped a lot. And I feel like there's a narrative around Pascal that he's really bad, but if you started watching more games, he improved. His shooting regressed a lot. Hopefully he can, he shot 36% from 3 in 2018, 2019. If you get that, Pascal Siakam will be good. His defense has improved. So many people say to trade him. I think that we should still keep him. He still has potential, man. Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, I hope to God that he allows us to make a sign and trade. If he does that, I'll be amazed. I'll be very happy. It's going to be sad to see him go, though. I want him to leave, though, for his own good. We also get Gary Trent Jr. Good potential. Hopefully he doesn't turn into, scoring heavy. Hopefully he still keeps his defense. Hopefully he just, doesn't get too confident. Confident, but not too confident, if you know what I'm saying. They underperformed a lot. They didn't even make the play-in tournament. From a team that was the second seed without Kawhi. This is the same team without Serge Ibaka, basically. And there's just no grit, there's no hustle. There's nobody off the bench that came and just dropped 20, 30. Terrence Davis last season, mwah, I love them, bro. Amazing. The bench squad. Rondae Hollis Jefferson had those games, man. And unfortunately, you don't have that no more. Toronto didn't feel like Toronto. They were also not home. Next season, it's gonna be better. Trust me, Jalen Suggs, he's gonna redeem himself. He's gonna redeem Toronto, man. Utah. In between A and S here, I'm gonna put them A because I did the same for Philly. They lost to a Clipper-less Kawhi. Come on, Utah. You have a stacked team. Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert, who's a DPOY, who at the start, when the season ended, I thought he deserved it over Ben Simmons. But in the playoffs, he's shown that he can get exposed as a defensive player of the year when you're running a 5-out. When you're running 5 people that can shoot, the only thing he can do is really clog the paint. He's not good on switches. He's not good on the perimeter. He will get abused, where Ben Simmons would not. That is why I now think that Ben Simmons deserved it. But you still couldn't win without Kawhi. I don't understand it, man. I understand Donovan Mitchell was injured, but still, everybody else has got to step up, and they did it, man. You have an all-star in Rudy Gobert, and he did not have one all-star performance throughout that series. Donovan Mitchell was amazing, though. Do whatever you can to keep him. Build around him. Do everything. Golden State. B tier. I would put them in C tier. But Stephen Curry elevated them up. He's the only reason they were in the play-in tournament and even close to getting that. If they had Clay, if they were just a better team, Steph for MVP, right? He had the best statistical season of his entire career at like 31, I think he is, or 32. Amazing season. Steph Curry himself puts them in B tier. Washington Wizards. I'm going to put them in the C tier. Now this is interesting, right? Because they made the playoffs. Okay, high C tier. They made the playoffs, right? Okay, I think I'm going to move down Charlotte and put up Washington. Okay, let's do that. They made the playoffs. They got destroyed by Philly. They won one game. Cool. Nice job. Russell Westbrook. Bradley Beal, please trade him. I don't think you're winning with Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Seemed like John Wall and Bradley Beal. You're not winning. Get Bradley Beal out. Get a young player. Get assets. Get Russell Westbrook out for whatever you can. And rebuild. Use this pick. Rebuild. Memphis. Oh, I would want to do A tier, but okay, I'm gonna have to move some people up. Amazing season. They made the playoffs finally, after last season being destroyed from the play-in tournament. And Damian Lillard. John Moran is a stud. He showed us in the first round that he can be a consistently good player. Dylan Brooks, I think, put a lot of people on him in terms of his defense. You can see his defense and his offense. Jonas Valanciunas, underrated center. He's a good center, and hopefully Memphis can build on this. The Timberwolves, D tier. They need to make the playoffs. They haven't been able to do that. To be honest, yeah, they just haven't. I'm gonna move the Magic down to D tier as well. They want to make the playoffs. They can't. They need to make a trade, man. This team is not working out, but maybe next season they start to turn it up at the end of the last season. Maybe next season they will all go crazy, man. But I want to do one more thing. I want to move one of these teams up to A, right? And maybe that's Brooklyn. Kevin Durant himself just propels Brooklyn. He was 1 inch away from sending the Bucks home. Right? He was one inch away. And from stopping them from winning a championship. Alright, this is my tier list, guys. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like. Again, this is my opinion. Don't come at me. Don't tell me to die. Don't tell me to do stuff, man. This is all my opinion. You can have your own opinion. You can make your own tier list. Let me know what I did right. Let me know what I did wrong. Enjoy your days. See you later, everybody.